Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Savvy Cast. This is Jamie, and I'm thrilled that you're here today, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast. I am thrilled today to have as my guest Bill Abbott. Bill Abbott is the president and CEO of Great American Media, whose flagship network, Great American Family, features family-friendly series, original holiday movies, and seasonal rom-coms that celebrate faith, family, and country. Bill co-founded Great American Media in June 2021, and he also is an industry veteran who has spent more than 30 years of leadership experience in cable television. He previously served as president and CEO of Crown Media Family Networks, the parent company of the Hallmark Channel. Bill is here today to share with us not only all of the interesting things that brought him to where he is today, but he's going to share with us all things GAC, which I'm excited about. I'm actually part of the GAC family, and we'll get into all of that. But without further ado, I would love to welcome to the Savvy Cast, Bill Abbott. Bill, thank you so much for being here today, and welcome to the Savvy Cast.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here, Jamie. You're remarkably talented, and we're so happy that you're joining the GAC, Great American Family.
Well, Bill, I have not shared much about that with my followers, but I'm glad to be able to do that today. And before we segue into all of the GAC things, which I'm excited about, I always ask my guests as the first question, what would you choose as your last meal?
Well, that would have to be pizza, I think. I love pizza. And it can be, I like New York pizza, but I like pizza from all over. So, it's pizza, pasta, any Italian food.
Great. I think that's one of the choices I would make. Go out in style with pasta and pizza. But, well, that is wonderful. Well, Bill, before we dive into GAC, I would love for you to give a picture of who Bill Abbott is. Your bio is so long and so impressive. I was not able to touch upon everything, but you are a remarkably successful leader in the industry of cable television. And could you just hit some of the high points for everyone watching or listening?
Sure. So, Jamie, I've been very fortunate and blessed in my career. I've worked with some really talented people and had great teams over the years. And I also was able to get into the business on the ground floor of it was not dissimilar to today in that when I entered the business, it was changing dramatically in that the cable business was just beginning to take root and things were changing dramatically with sports rights and content migrating from broadcast and actually being televised much more on cable. So I started at a small ad agency, and my dad was in the publishing business. So I had the entry into, over the years, just learning what he did. And I started at a small ad agency, moved to then into research at a TV rep firm and did research for many years and love numbers, love what makes the business go, why a show or a sporting event would do better than another, and how time period impacts that in stations and different factors that you wouldn't even think about. And then I was, again, blessed to meet the people at the Family Channel, which is based in Virginia Beach. And it was run at the time by Tim Robertson, and still the best CEO I ever worked for, just the smartest. He was a visionary at the time around the cable business, around family TV, around understanding that the way the environment was moving, that there was no place truly for families to watch TV together. That more and more at the time, the culture was moving toward that dark, violent, sexual presentation of edgy content, and that was back in the '90s, and because I was on the ground floor of the business, I was running research, and I was in all the meetings where we strategized and talked about how to build the network. And we did that very successfully, had a very high rated network. And I moved into ad sales at that point. And then we were bought out though by Fox and Unspun. And that was an unfortunate situation because certainly they didn't have the same vision that the Robertsons had for the business. And at the time, it just became more of what can we do to make it younger, make it edgier, make it different. And that, having been then in family TV for quite a while, over a decade, I really was passionate and felt called to serve the underserved audience that just does not have the experience of being able to sit and watch TV with family. And so I moved over to Hallmark to run ad sales at Hallmark in 2000, and did that for 9 years, and then ultimately was fortunate to be blessed with the opportunity to run the organization and at Crown Media, which is the entertainment division of Hallmark. And so did that for 11 years. And
Well, you were president and CEO, correct?
Yes, and had a wonderful team of experts in each of their disciplines who were phenomenal at strategizing and building and thinking about how best to present an experience really for the viewer, which is what it's all about. It's more than just turning on a show or turning on. It's turning on the channel and feeling something, feeling emotion, being associated with something that, again, you turn it on, you know what you're going to get. There's an expectation and we deliver on that expectation. And that's what's, I think, missing in the environment right now, that networks are all over the place and you never really know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And so the team there was remarkable and great. And so I did that for 11 years, and now I'm embarking on a new venture that is equally even more exciting in a lot of ways, because we're truly building it from the ground up, and we're moving forward.
Well, Bill, I want to let you tell us about GAC and all things GAC, but I just want to say it is so wonderful to know that what you are now embarking upon is going to bring us hopefully back to a place where we're not afraid to have our children in the room. You can't watch a sporting event, a major sporting event, without, and it's typically advertising, but this is a gift to a large segment of people who just want to be able to enjoy wholesome entertainment.
Yeah, and it's a combination too, I think, Jamie, of being comfortable in the room, and then it's being comfortable even in with your own self. And I've got so many letters when I was at Hallmark about people who would say they'd get home from work and they'd have a difficult day, and they'd be able to turn our channel on and just have 2 hours where they didn't have to think about dark situations, violence, sexual situations, things that just make you create anxiety. And even before you go to bed at night, I think the biggest tip I read that, if you want to go to bed and get a good night's sleep, is leave your phone, away for an hour, and because it creates anxiety. And it's the same thing with TV. If you're watching TV and it's creating a lot of anxiety for you, then that's probably not going to be a good way to begin to get some rest. And so the overall experience is very, very important to us, and we've learned over time that it's needed and appreciated deeply.
Right. Well, Bill, for those watching or listening who were or maybe still are huge Hallmark fans, have some of the actors and actresses who were formerly at Hallmark moved over to GAC to create content there? And are you able to share who those are?
Yeah, so we've had great relationships and great success over the years with many of the all the talent really at in this genre of the rom-com genre, and the fans are so passionate about the talent and about what they do and about the experience that they create for them, And so when I made the move over here, those relationships certainly continue and transcend anywhere that any of us work. And so Candace Cameron Bure certainly is, in all likelihood, the one that is most well known. She's the queen of the genre, queen of Christmas, queen of everything. She's
She
and
really.
and I think, Jamie, the best part about the talent that we work with is they're great people. They're not only extraordinarily talented, not only, by the way, and we'll talk about this a little bit more when we talk about Great American Community, but they're not only talented on screen, but they are good people who do the right thing, who you're not going to read about on in the news, who have families who are supportive of faith, family, and country. And so we've been very, very conscious to work with people like Candace, like Danica McKellar, who was in
Mm.
the Wonder Years and starred in many movies in the genre over the years. Jen Lilly is a quality person who has a big family and a big heart, and they do more charity work. And Jen is a great example of the amount of charity work that she does for children is epic. And Trevor Donovan, who has an anti-bullying initiative that he takes and goes to schools throughout the country and talks to students about bullying and about, he's a role model. And we want our talent to be role models and represent us well and overall reinforce really the positive sides and that are life affirming. And there's so many people who are role models who we all know shouldn't be role models. and
Well, that's very true. And to me, and I'm sure to everyone, it speaks volumes about the people who are now at GAC as to what they stand for and to the level of respect that they have for others who also have the same values. Because
and yes, I'm sorry, they
because they
respect the
could get a
audience
job
too.
anywhere and doing anything, but they're
Yes.
out of respect for the community that they want to serve, they're moving to a place that's safe for all of us
And
who
they
desire
respect
that.
the audience. They really
Yes.
do. They want to be. They are really in they are doing what they do because they enjoy pleasing people, and that is very different than a lot of the, as you know, the entertainment
Right.
world.
Right, right. And
Yes.
I'm following, of course, all of the GAC Instagram accounts. I mean, we are so excited about it. And I would love to just let that segue into GAC, the community that I am going to be part of, and there are many others. So, and I think it's a genius idea that I think it was your brainchild. And I think it's great. But I'm just going to let you take it away and tell.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of work by a lot of people internally in our organization to come up with this, and it's a very unique concept because in the world that we live in, unfortunately, social media, while can be a wonderful vehicle for a lot of different things and a lot of different learning experiences, it also has now become subjected to the sewer that is the entertainment business.
Mhm.
And you it's very challenging to, aside from even the overall cultural issues, just the things that you see, are just
Mhm.
not family friendly. So
Mhm.
we have some unique assets that a lot of organizations that are much bigger than we are don't, and starts really with a great family of talent who are very much committed to our mission and to promoting us and to reinforcing what we stand for. And so talent like Danica, like Jen Lilly, like Trevor, they are going to be on that we're starting Great American Community, and they'll be part of Great American Community. Then when I was at Hallmark, we did a show called Home and Family, where we had a number of family members who viewers got to know. They got to be, part of their life every day on a 2-hour show, 5 days a week. That group will also be part of what we're establishing as Great American Community. And then we have talented influencers like yourself who will join this group and who will be part of really the fabric of the expertise of what you do and what other influencers do that make you so popular and make you so relevant, providing content that will inform and inspire. So that's three prongs of different individuals and different spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Each of those groups will create, each person will create 2 to 3 videos a week of short form content
Mm-hmm.
that will inspire, and you'll get to know them better and will allow the viewer to really have that immersive experience where they are in a safe place, that they know the content will be life affirming, and that maybe they'll be takeaway in one way or another. And those pieces of content will be produced, as I mentioned, 2 to 3 each week across all of the 16 to 18 people who are part of the platform. And the individuals will then, from their own social platforms, promote the community, which is going to be, we think great for everybody, because there are many fans of Cameron Matheson who might not know about Debbie Matenopoulos' ability to cook. Or there are fans of yours who might not know even about GNC Family or about Cameron Matheson or about Trevor Donovan and his bullying initiative. So the ability to take collectively the fan experience that sometimes in social, is not aggregated in a way that makes sense or that doesn't lead you to some place that you don't want to be. Just initially, I think is a concept that isn't being done. Second to that, we have a linear platform that is growing in ratings, that has some of the talent on it, in which we can drive to great American community and promote what we're doing digitally through the linear experience, where we have the movies and the sitcoms and the family friendly programming that is very unique and is a point of entry that, again, not many organizations would have that are just starting a digital site. So in terms of driving traffic and gaining interest, that will be a big piece of it. And then the individual social platforms will be kind of from the other side. And then I think once viewers get to the experience and they see you, and they have the ability then to see Danica, and they have the ability to see the home family talent, that is going to go a long way toward creating something really compelling. And it'll be available in app form, that we're doing an app, and it'll be available certainly on desktop or on the computer or on the TV through any device.
So it's basically just an easy form of, it's like social media, but it will be, instead of finding it on Instagram, it will be an app that you will download, I guess at Google or the App Store.
Yes.
So you'll have that, and you can just go there, and it's like its own little channel community.
Exactly. And that's just the start, because we love nothing more than delighting our viewers and making people happy. And so we want to hear feedback from people, and we want them to be able to feel like they have that relationship with the network, and then get to know the talent better. So we will do things like book clubs, in which we'll have, over the course of a 2-week period, people sign up, read a book. Maybe we can have the author come on and speak. Maybe we could have the talent do interviews. There are a lot of different ways that we can create events that people will be attracted to. We'll have daily devotionals that will be provide spiritual elements that are different and unique for people. So maybe they can get their cooking recipe, and they can also get inspired someone who is giving just some type of recognition of how important faith is, and bringing that back into the conversation in a very positive way. And then, the amount of things that we're thinking about, a masterclass we could have taught by someone who is in our community, who is an expert at something, and people want to do a deeper dive on some of the things that you would do, or some of the things that Debbie might have on, in terms of how she cooks, or Cameron Matheson, how he decorates his home at Christmas. There are a lot of different things that are, I think, that we can provide, that will be a resource and really a great way to entertain and make people happy and give them a place to go. So we're really excited.
Well, and Bill, just the breadth of the level of influencers of from real stars down to little micro influencers like myself to bringing in faith, which I'm sure you're going to have, different faiths are represented. And I mean, you are hitting every angle and you're still growing. That's what's so exciting is it's just in its early phases.
Yes,
And the app
exactly.
actually, could you explain that the app and it's not completely ready yet. Can you explain how to access that and when it will be ready?
Yes. So we will launch on September 26th. And up until then, we'll begin promoting it in a variety of different ways before that. But it will be downloadable September 26th. And we'll be launching with at least 40 different content elements. So each of our talent, like you, will produce 2 to 3 videos that will be up there immediately. So we'll have something that when you go to the site, it's not nothing. It's not, work in progress. We really want to launch with
Right.
something robust.
Mhm.
There'll be a planning calendar because part of our mission is to help people live life intentionally.
Mm.
And life goes by so quickly. And there's so many things about family and about faith and about just overall the life experience that get washed away in just the busyness of day to day. So we think that planning for family events, for holidays, for occasions, for really celebrating life in general is something really important. And so we're providing what will be a planning calendar that we hope will be very useful to people and give them things to think about. So at Christmas time, there'll be the day you pick out your tree, you can put that in your planner. And then the day that perhaps, you think about Advent and how, the real meaning of the season, how that over that period of time, the 4 weeks leading up to Christmas, how you celebrate that intentionally. And all of those things that we hope will be utilized to just make people's lives more fulfilling.
Well, I will just toss this in because I've created most of my first segments and the level of intentionality when I saw this is the content, this is the order where the viewers will have plenty of time. I mean, I did how I decorate with pumpkins, and I told my social media coordinator, I said, this is helping me become better and as family savvy because it's making me plan and think of how other people best receive information. If you talk about how to do pumpkins at the day before, Thanksgiving, that's not helpful. So the level of intentionality is definitely there. And I can attest to that just from my little vantage point.
Yes. And Jamie, there's a big difference between putting your Christmas lights up November 15th. You don't have to turn them on, but put them up November 15th and that experience and putting them up December 10th and feeling rushed and feeling like you have to get this done. It is a different mindset. And when you do it the 15th, you're doing it with joy and you're doing it with enthusiasm. And when you're doing it just because you have to get it done, and if you don't, you're not going to be decorated for Christmas, your mindset's completely different. So we're hopeful that we can bring to life a lot of those things in events that will be enriching.
Well, Bill, I want to make sure that everyone watching and listening knows that on the show notes, and I will provide all links to every possible way that people can connect to the entire community. And I know there will be a way to sign up for newsletters and alerts and just because, there are those people who want to stay in the loop of every tweak and so forth. And then the specific channels that they might want to follow. So are you going to be able to provide all of that? Because there'll be different levels of interest, I'm sure.
Yes. And it's a fine line. We don't want to be intrusive. And we've all experienced where you sign up for something and then all of a sudden it's like every 5 minutes you feel like you're getting hit. And so we want to give people the opportunity to know as much as they want and also to know, just know what the things are important to them. And so we're really working hard at developing a platform so that you're able to curate your experience and your notifications and be reasonably, we want to treat people with respect
Mhm.
and be sensitive. And so, obviously we have a business to run, and obviously we want to promote ourselves as much as possible. But the primary focus for us is serving our audience and getting to know our audience and reacting to our audience and satisfying our audience and making them happy. And so we will work hard to do that. And we want the feedback if we're not doing that. I think that's one of the differences between us and most entertainment businesses. We really want to know if we're missing the mark
Bill,
and fix it.
Bill, it is very clear in every conversation I've had with you that GAC is all about the audience. How do people who want to give feedback? What's the best place for that? Email? Is it a social media channel? How do they give their feedback?
So we will, within community, we will have a big area that we can do that. Jamie, so just a war story for you. We started the business in June, and we had a lot to do just to rebrand and get programming on the air and get movies made for fourth quarter and get operations done and everything else. And we had good intentions, and good intentions don't get it done.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, you got to deliver. We had these great intentions around our website fourth quarter, where GAC Family would allow for all kinds of dialogue, all kinds of conversation. And, we found that was not as an effective way. We had a hard time just with the back end of it. And so we are working hard for gacfamily.com to be a place to do that, to be able to give feedback as well as social channels. But community will be the place to provide that feedback. And then from the channel side, certainly reaching out to and within the social media world, we have a number of different ways in which you can do that. So we want the feedback, we listen to it, we take it really seriously.
So
Really
connection's not
seriously.
going to be a problem at all. I can tell. Now, Bill, before I know you're extremely busy, but before I let you go, I have shared some, and I'll start sharing more now that the cat's out of the bag. But I have so many followers who are so passionate about Christmas movies. And I've even had some say, okay, where do we go to watch? What channel? There's a little bit of confusion. Can
I
you
know.
can you articulate as best you can if someone is just ready for the Christmas movies, which they're going on right now? Zane and I have been popping some corn and watching those. We love them. But can you articulate to everyone the best way to understand how to access the Christmas movies?
Sure. So it is a confusing environment for all of us. I know as a consumer, I am very confused. So I understand the challenges, and we understand the challenges. We're available through a number of different ways. The cable operator, first and foremost, if you subscribe to cable, some packages were fully carried no matter what package you have. On some, you have to, there's another tier that you have to buy of additional channels to get Great American Family. So, we work hard to try and not have that be the case, but there are some realities around the business that make that not our business, but the cable operator's business.
May I
So,
ask you a question on that note,
sure.
Bill? Now we're cable, we're Charter Spectrum, but you're saying cable. You're not talking about Dish. That's a totally separate.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're talking cable.
Yes. So Charter, for example, we're carried about across half the footprint. And so there's an extra package that you have to purchase, and that's not our doing.
Yeah.
We'd love to be carried across the board, but we're not. Comcast were carried across the board on, varies from system to system, which is part of the problem. If you live in Philadelphia, your system is different than if you live in Florida, which means we can't just say on Comcast with channel 248.
Right.
Which is,
Yeah.
but we have a channel finder on our website. You can go to, put your zip code in, and it will show you all the places and the channel numbers where you can get the channel. So that's very important.
That's
gacfamily.com, and the channel finder, you put in your zip code and everything will come up as to where to find the channel.
Both
DirecTV. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
on any platform, it will
Yes.
tell, "Oh, that's fabulous." I will link to that. That is wonderful. Okay,
Yes. So
so
that's probably the best. It took me a minute to nonsense to get through to the point, but that's the best way.
okay.
Secondly, though, DirecTV, for example, we're on one channel, 326 across the country. So if you have DirecTV, channel 326, no matter what package you have, we're there. On Dish, we're channel 165. That package you have to have additional. That's one you need additional channels to purchase additional channels to get that. And then we are on Philo and Fubo and Friendly TV on all of those systems universally. So the channel's available that way. But we understand how confusing it is. So if someone's having a problem, they should reach out. If
Okay.
the zip code piece gets confusing, we're happy to guide, and we understand how challenging it is.
Well, Bill, I just want to personally thank you on behalf of all families like us who are so grateful that you have used your influence and that all of the people who are now joining the GAC team are using their influence to bring back a much needed safe place of entertainment and of community. And I'm going to spread the word, and anyone watching or listening, spread the word. Let everyone know, because this is exciting and it's only going to get more exciting. And I'm thrilled, Bill, to be have even a tiny part in this.
Well, you have a big part in it, and we could not be happier that you're going to bring all of your expertise to us, and that we have the opportunity to work with you and to, really that for viewers are going to, so many people are going to learn from you and have this opportunity to make their lives richer, which is what you do. You make people's lives better and richer, and we're fortunate to work with someone as inspired and talented as you are.
Well, you're so kind, and I do appreciate that. If any small thing that I can do, but I also would like to list in the show notes, because when I became part of the community, I started following a lot of even some of the larger stars that I was not familiar with. I started following them on social media, and wow, some of the finest people just in their day to day life that, I mean, from scratch with Maria. I mean, I've learned so much on buying her cookbook. I mean, there's so many different people that I'm being blessed with now. Just connecting like-minded people from all over the United States. So,
Yes, and we think that that will be happening a lot, and I'm
well,
grateful to you for being part of it, and thank you so much for having me today. It's been a privilege, and I'm so excited to be working with you. It's,
Bill,
it's great.
thank you so much, and thanks to everyone watching or listening. And everything again will be in the show notes, and hopefully you will connect and reap the benefits of GAC. Bill, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, you're welcome, Jamie. Just want to, if I could add one thing. So just a
Sure.
reminder, September 26th, we launch. And then at Christmas, I didn't mention we'll have 18 original Christmas movies this year, which is a big step up. And every Saturday and Sunday night, beginning the end of October, throughout the end of the year, will be an original movie. So it's going to be a great experience and a lot of fresh new content. And people will hopefully be very much entertained. We're leaving no stone unturned in making sure the storylines are smart and the dialogue is good and the talent is focused and delightful and life affirming and incorporating those elements of faith. So thank you very
That's
much.
wonderful.
Sorry to
No, I'm
stop the
glad. I
end there.
didn't know there were 18 original Christmas movies. That's great news. And I don't know how y'all
Yeah,
have done it,
yeah,
but
very excited.
wow. But
Okay.
thank you,
Thank you,
Bill.
Jamie. Take care.